If you're over 60, this video could quietly change the way you start every morning. Your generation has faced more challenges than most, navigating decades of ups and downs, adapting to new technology, health advice, and changing times. But there's one hidden danger almost no one talks about: how to protect your brain from stroke as your body ages. Every year, thousands of seemingly healthy older adults suddenly lose the ability to speak, walk, or even recognize their loved ones. And in many cases, the cause traces back to small, everyday choices made in the first hour after waking up. Stroke isn't just bad luck. It's often the result of years of tiny habits that quietly build risk over time, especially during your morning routine. That's why in today's video, we're counting down 7 common morning habits that could be increasing your stroke risk, starting with the least dangerous and building up to the number one mistake you'll want to avoid at all costs. And don't worry, each section comes with simple, science-backed solutions that you can start using tomorrow morning. Number 1. Drinking coffee before breakfast. For many people over 60, the day doesn't officially start until that first sip of coffee. The familiar aroma, the warmth of the cup in your hands, and the boost of energy are all part of a comforting routine. But drinking coffee before eating breakfast can quietly put unnecessary strain on your heart and brain. When caffeine enters your body on an empty stomach, it causes a rapid release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones speed up your heart rate and cause your blood vessels to tighten. The result is a sudden spike in blood pressure, something that becomes more dangerous as we age and our arteries naturally become less flexible. Beyond that, caffeine also affects how blood flows to your brain. Drinking coffee first thing can temporarily reduce circulation to critical areas of the brain, making it harder for oxygen and nutrients to reach where they're needed most. Studies have shown that for some older adults, the risk of a circulation-related brain event can double in the hour following coffee consumption, especially when no food is in the stomach. Having multiple cups back to back only increases this risk. The good news is that you don't have to give up coffee entirely. Start your day with a large glass of water to help rehydrate after sleep. Then eat a light, balanced breakfast before having your coffee. Keeping your portion moderate and skipping sugary additives can also reduce strain on your body. But coffee isn't the only hidden danger. Let's look at another overlooked morning habit that affects brain health. Number 2. Ignoring morning dizziness or weakness. It is easy to brush off feeling dizzy or weak when you first wake up. Many seniors assume it is just part of aging or something caused by a restless night. But these early morning sensations can be your body's way of quietly signaling that something more serious is happening behind the scenes. When you experience lightheadedness, it often means your brain is not receiving enough oxygen-rich blood. This can be linked to poor circulation, sudden changes in blood pressure, or even a temporary blockage affecting brain function. In some cases, these symptoms are connected to what is known as a mini-stroke or transient ischemic attack. Unlike major strokes, these smaller episodes may last only a few minutes and seem to fade quickly, which is why many people choose to ignore them. But ignoring these warning signs is a dangerous decision. These brief incidents often signal that larger health problems could be approaching. You may notice your arm feeling weaker than usual, your speech coming out a little unclear, or a slight numbness on one side of your face. Even if these sensations disappear on their own, they should never be dismissed. Health experts recommend remembering the acronym FAST. This stands for face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, and time to get help. If you experience any of these symptoms after waking up, write down the time, document exactly what you felt, and contact your healthcare provider immediately. Ignoring these signs allows small issues to become serious threats. Now let's take a look at another morning habit that many seniors overlook, often without realizing the hidden risk. Number 3. Jumping out of bed too quickly. Waking up and immediately springing out of bed might seem like a sign of energy and motivation, but for seniors, this sudden movement can create unexpected stress on the body. After several hours of sleep, your blood pressure is naturally at its lowest, and your circulation has slowed down. When you move from lying down to standing too quickly, your body struggles to adjust. This rapid change can cause a condition called orthostatic hypotension, where blood pressure drops suddenly as you stand. The result is a sudden feeling of dizziness, lightheadedness, or even temporary vision changes. For older adults, this creates a higher risk of fainting or losing balance, which can lead to falls and injuries. More importantly, this drop in blood pressure can reduce the amount of oxygen-rich blood flowing to your brain right when it needs it most. If your arteries are already narrower due to aging or past health conditions, this sudden shift becomes even more dangerous. The brain may not receive enough blood flow in those crucial first moments of the day, increasing the risk of circulation-related complications. The solution is simple but effective. When you first wake up, give yourself 1 to 2 minutes to adjust. Start by moving your legs and feet while lying down. Then sit up slowly and pause before standing. This small change can help your body stabilize and protect your brain from unnecessary strain. Next, let's focus on a morning habit that seems harmless but puts quiet pressure on your body in ways most people never realize. Number 4. Holding your bladder too long. It might seem like a small thing, but delaying your morning trip to the bathroom can create a ripple effect of stress on your body. After hours of sleep, your bladder is likely full, sending signals to your brain that it is time to empty it. Ignoring this urge may seem harmless, especially if you want to check your phone, stretch, or just rest in bed for a little longer. But during this delay, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline in response to the discomfort. These hormones cause your heart rate to increase and your blood vessels to tighten, which leads to a sudden and unnecessary rise in blood pressure. For older adults with sensitive arteries or pre-existing blood pressure concerns, this extra pressure creates an added risk for circulation problems in the brain. A study from the early 2000s found that a full bladder can actually trigger restricted blood flow to the heart and brain, especially in individuals with signs of artery stiffness. The longer you hold it, the more intense this reaction becomes. Making a habit of ignoring your body's signals each morning can add silent stress to your heart and brain over time. The safest and smartest thing you can do is respond quickly when you wake up with the urge to use the bathroom. Prioritize this over scrolling through your phone or lying in bed. Listening to your body's early warnings is a simple step with big protective benefits. Now let's turn to another morning mistake that affects your brain in an entirely different way. Number 5. Skipping morning water. After spending 7 to 8 hours asleep, your body naturally becomes dehydrated. During the night, you lose fluids through breathing and sweating, even if you do not notice it happening. By the time you wake up, your blood is slightly thicker than it was the day before. This means your heart has to work harder to pump blood effectively, and your brain receives less oxygen and essential nutrients in those first critical moments of the day. For seniors, this can quietly increase the strain on the cardiovascular system. Thickened blood and sluggish circulation make it harder for the brain to get the steady flow it needs to function properly. Research shows that dehydration can worsen the outcome of brain-related circulation problems if they do occur. Even mild dehydration affects concentration, balance, and mood in older adults. For seniors taking medications like diuretics, which encourage the body to shed extra fluids, the risk of morning dehydration becomes even higher. Skipping water in the morning does not just leave you feeling sluggish. It leaves your brain operating under unnecessary stress, which over time can impact long-term cognitive and heart health. The solution is simple and affordable. Make it a habit to drink a large glass of room temperature water within the first few minutes of waking up. This helps thin your blood naturally, improves circulation, and gives your brain the hydration it needs to start the day strong. Next, let's take a closer look at a dietary habit that quietly adds pressure to your blood vessels before you have even left the breakfast table. Number 6. Eating a high-salt breakfast. What you choose for breakfast can quietly shape your brain health for the rest of the day. Many older adults believe their morning meal is healthy, but hidden sodium in common breakfast foods tells a different story. Processed cereals, instant oatmeal packets, prepackaged breads, breakfast sausages, and cheese-laden dishes often contain far more salt than most people realize. This excess sodium causes your body to retain water, increasing the volume of blood your heart must pump. The added pressure makes your heart work harder and tightens your blood vessels, especially the small and delicate ones in your brain. Studies show that high sodium intake directly increases the risk of circulation-related brain events by raising blood pressure and damaging arterial walls over time. Mornings are already when blood pressure tends to spike naturally due to your body's internal clock. Adding a salty breakfast on top of this creates a difficult situation for your heart and brain to manage. One study found that people consuming over 4,000 milligrams of sodium per day had more than twice the risk of experiencing serious brain circulation problems compared to those who kept their intake under 1,100 milligrams. Making smarter choices in the morning can help reduce this risk significantly. Opt for low-sodium alternatives like fresh fruit, plain oatmeal, boiled eggs without added salt, or whole grain toast with light toppings. Reading nutrition labels can also help avoid hidden sodium. Now let's move to the final and most dangerous morning habit, one that affects millions of seniors without them even realizing the risks. Number 7. Skipping or misusing morning medications. Of all the morning habits that quietly put your brain at risk, skipping or misusing your prescribed medications is the most dangerous. Many older adults forget to take their pills or delay them until later in the day, thinking it will not make much difference. Others take medications inconsistently, adjusting doses on their own or skipping certain pills altogether. This becomes especially risky when it comes to medications that control blood pressure, cholesterol levels, or blood flow. These treatments work best when taken at the right time, following a consistent routine. Missing doses during the early morning hours leaves your body vulnerable, right when your blood pressure naturally rises after waking. This surge in pressure creates the perfect conditions for circulation-related issues in the brain, making it one of the highest risk windows of the day for seniors. Another common mistake is trying to compensate for missed doses by doubling up later. While this might seem like an easy fix, it can actually create dangerous imbalances in your system, leading to sudden drops in blood pressure or other complications that affect brain function. Even how you take your medications matters. Swallowing pills without enough water or taking them with coffee can prevent proper absorption, reducing their effectiveness. The best approach is to build a morning medication routine you can trust. Set alarms, use a pill organizer, and never adjust your dosage without first speaking with your healthcare provider. Now that you know the most dangerous morning habits for your brain, let's wrap up with some important takeaways you can start applying tomorrow. Conclusion. As we've seen today, a stroke rarely happens out of the blue. It builds slowly and quietly over weeks, months, or even years through small, daily habits, especially the ones we repeat every morning. Now that you know the 7 morning mistakes that could be raising your stroke risk, the power to make a change is in your hands. So here's your turn. Which of these habits sounds familiar to you? Or have you already made some positive changes to protect your brain health? Share your thoughts, experiences, or questions down in the comments below. Remember, good health isn't just luck. It's shaped by the small decisions we make each day. Your mornings play a bigger role in your future than most people realize. If this video helped you learn something new, please take a second to like, share, and subscribe to Wellness Rewind, your trusted source for science-backed wellness tips after 60. We'll see you in the next video.